Morgan missing the entirety of last season with that ACL injury. So here we go. Round 4 of the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup to get underway here on an emotional day for South Sydney, who honour the late John Sattler, and they get first use of it. What a bullocking run right off the top from Brock Gray, up over the 20. And this is what they want to do throughout the afternoon. Start strong here in the New South Wales Cup. It's been a tough start for them in the competition. Some hefty defeats in the opening 3 rounds, but that doesn't matter today. They can put that behind them with a win and 2 competition points. Mamazelis out of dummy half and takes it up into Seagulls territory. So they arrive at the final play, and it's Blake Taff with the kick on the last. And getting safely under it is Jake Toby. Remember last year, Spud, in one of our feature games, he scored 4 tries for the Seagulls. This is his first game back in the Cup this season because he injured his hamstring in the NRL trials.
He certainly can play, the young man. He's got plenty of pace, but looking defensively, the first set of Blacktown work is a bit disappointing with the South Sydney side moving all the way down to the 30-metre line. But as you know, I go into both sheds, talking to both front rowers. Some guys at times I walk in there, which was today, they're probably looking, who the hell is this bloke? But Brock Gray, I just gave him an ultimatum to go and do 20 carries. His first carry, 20 metres. What a way to start.
Well, that is the Spud challenge. Ben Condon, who's been doing some work out of your gym, Spud, he takes it up inside the 40. Back it comes for Dargan. And that kick is a little too deep, so it's going to be a 20-metre restart. And let's head down to the sideline. Nico Pajarillo, how are conditions for the start of this one?
Good afternoon, Ben, Spud. It's unseasonably cool down here, gents. A light southerly breeze is keeping things fresh for this match today. Now, the rain forecast insists that no rain is forthcoming, but those clouds overhead do look a bit threatening. Let's hope it stays nice and dry for our first of 2 games here at Accor Stadium, and our first of 3 here on your Super Saturday.
Yeah, I'm feeling for you today, big man, because I remember a couple of weeks ago you were sweating bullets, so today you can freeze down there. How good.
No sweat balls here today, mate.
Plenty of indifferent weather across the last few days in Sydney, so hopefully it stays away for this one. And also first grade a little later tonight as the Rabbitohs almost inside the 30 now. Good carry from Ethan O'Neill. And they'll get an opportunity here to ask some questions of the Seagulls goal line defence. Mamazelis popping it up to Chapman. Driving the legs, Chase Chapman. Mamazelis, and they're looking for the crash play between the posts. Seagulls defence holding firm, but the penalty given away.
Sorry, crusher.
Crusher tackle is the call from Daniel Lutringer, the referee.
I understand it's a crusher, but what are you supposed to do when the bloke backs into you and then puts his arse on the ground and leans into you? Can't pull out of it.
So Morgan Boyle on report.
Yep. Peter, it's over here.
I don't disagree with you, Spud. It really makes it difficult.
Got time off.
He turned his back and he should have went lower and probably broke his ribs. That's what it deserved.
So the Bunnies with a full set here, attacking the Blacktown Workers Seagulls goal line.
We've got time. You can go across, Gordon. What are you doing, Peter?
And there's an issue here for the Seagulls with Gordon Chan-Kum Tong heading towards the sideline.
So we go. All right, you've got to be 10 though, Blacktown. So goal line.
So this is going to force an early reshuffle. Joe Tramontana is going to come on, and that's not the start they wanted. The 21-year-old who's been a star so far for Blacktown Workers, off after under 4 minutes. So the Italian international, who's played at the last 2 World Cups for Italy, is going to come on. And in the meantime, South Sydney, they're going to have a shot right in front. It's an absolute gift, 2 points. And you can see that is why Gordon Chan-Kum Tong has been forced off.
Hopefully it's a quick recovery, but I would have taken the quick tap then. There was plenty of pressure on the Blacktown workers, but they've gone for the easy option, kicking 2 points. This will give them a bit of confidence, I suppose. But now, as I said, the Blacktown workers set has to be damaging. You know, they got down to the 30-metre line on the positive zone. They've got to make sure they bash them before the 50.
Well, there's the gift, 2 points. The Bunnies lead at 2-0. Blake Taft dropping out of the NRL squad and into this New South Wales Cup lineup into the halves. So really important for him to show Jason Demetrio the quality that he possesses, get himself back up into that NRL side.
It's like all good sides. You've got to have great replacements, and these kids are down here to play footy. There's no point sitting on the side of the bench watching you play, and I think Momazelis is another one, number 9 for the Rabbitohs. There's an opportunity for him if Cook goes away. He's just got to work his time in.
Dean Hawkins feeding Brock Gray again.
Joey up and square his turn. Right.
And now they bring it up towards the 30-metre line. So
it's a bit of defence.
Important they consolidate the points that they've put on the board. Tane Mill playing on that left edge as a second rower this afternoon. Myla Chan-Foon getting the opportunity in the centres off the bench as he was initially named midweek. And now Chapman.
It's better said.
On the final play, Dean Hawkins. And that's going to favour for Lalo, who's almost up to the 40. So good field position win there for the Seagulls.
It was a great set of 6 there, Ben. They actually moved off what they call quick line speed, and they worked on the inside. Now, before they were going too much sideways, but now they're just going to make some good runs. They're not going to put too many steps. It's a dominant thing. They've got to see who can do the best forward packing through the middle.
So set restart there. South's caught inside the 10. So they put that penalty goal on the board, and a poor set, and now giving away the set restart. Opportunity here for the Seagulls. Johns out wide to Toby, looked to be knocked down.
Touchdowns.
And that's a decision from the referee. Jake Toby just looking to get it to his outside man.
You just need to be a little bit deeper in attack. Probably a foot ahead of the other person. They've got great skill, both sides, but as I said, the forwards have to lay a platform, but also get a little bit deeper and hit the ball at pace.
All right, just listen while we have a breather, so seconds and lots climb properly.
I'll tell you what, I went in the middle of the pitch before I got kicked off by the groundskeeper. This ground, they said, you know the old saying, you're going to be sucking worms out of the grass? Mate, it's like a piece of carpet. Good luck. It's that tight, but I've just also heard they laid new turf 9 days ago. So I said, mate, you got a tip for my lawn?
Yeah, well, it's looking pretty good at the moment. Morgan Harper is just outside the 20. First time the Seagulls have got the ball down this end of the ground.
Good run.
Morgan Boyle, after recovering from multiple injuries, good to see him back in this side. Tramontana, Johns, and now Dargan. Space for Toby to explore, and it's been put down by Tui Malo Vaenga.
Where do you want it, South?
Just had a little look.
Little. Peaky boo.
Well, the line was gaping down the left edge.
In the middle.
I'll tell you what I'd do, because he did that. You know what I do? Put him straight in the middle of the scrum. Mate, you're a winger. Don't drop the ball. You got an opportunity to score. Is there any cameras there? I think he was pegging himself a bit, but you just don't. It was a great application by the Manly side. Now they've just got to put their shoulder into it and drive these guys back.
Did get on the scoreboard last week, Tuimalo Vaenga in the loss to the Eels. Been right in matches, the Seagulls so far this season. They led the Dogs 16-0 in the opening round, and then in round 3 they were up 22-6 against the Eels before they lost 30-22.
Second effort.
And now they just compound that mistake by giving away a penalty, and Dean Madison, the guilty party.
Yeah, the old piggyback, nothing worse. They hold them for 2 or 3 good tackles and they get another set of 6. They've just got to compress the line from this sort of stage of the game. They're not going to go running around you, so tighten up through the middle. A good hit.
Madison and Harper in there to make the tackle. Madison was Mounties Player of the Year last season, making the move across to Blacktown Workers. That's Brock Gray playing it to Mamazelis and put down by Taff. So a scrappy couple of minutes from both sides. They need to cut out these mistakes. Just an unforced error from a vastly experienced, albeit young player. He should have taken that spot.
Yeah, I think it should have been a little bit deeper too, Ben. They like to play flat these days. The way, I know I'm old school, I'm like a dinosaur. We used to run from back fence. It's all about timing, but they play this flat play at the moment. But, you know, one of my pets, I've got many pet hates, Benny boy, but you make a mistake, you know what they do? They go and pat them on the head, mate. When I was playing, they'd bash her.
Tuimalo Vaenga.
Hold the ball.
And he is able to hold on to it, but he put perilously close to the sideline, skating on the cliff edge there. He was able to stay inside as Toby, jinking and stepping, looking for a gap. Really enjoyed his time with the Seagulls in the pre-season, did Jake Toby before Christmas. And Vaenga looking to make up for that mistake. 2 carries in this set already. Dargan, and this is Condon, straight and hard. Tramontana into the arms of Fulton, distributing to Johns. And now Dean Madison. Dummies and takes the tackle on the final play. Quick play of the ball. Dargan out wide, and this is Fletcher Myers. Gets the flick pass back, and it was put on the toe by Samuela Fainu. But the Bunnies have come up with it, and it's just going to be a changeover. But that was a bit of enterprise from the Blacktown Workers side.
Yeah, well, they've certainly laid the platform now, so they're going a bit wideish. But the thing is, nice little pass, but this is a great area to get into the South Sydney side. It's one of the hardest parts of the game to come out from your, your bottom quarter.
Mamazelis on to Giles. So they've really been penned inside their own half for the last few minutes, the Rabbitohs. This is Brock Gray, brother of former Rabbitoh Aaron. And now they look to use it. The Bunnies through Richie Kenner. Last tackle, what's the option here? Little disjointed. And again, the final play option, just letting South Sydney down. Easy take in the end for Dargan, and then Jake Toby with the carry.
Yeah, I love that word disjointed. Just said, these guys, we don't know what the team's going to be until we get here, Ben, is it? So these poor buggers, they don't get their full side probably until Thursday or Friday, so disjointed, like, that's a great word. But, yeah, they've just got to get a little bit more cohesion. But you need more time, don't you?
Yeah, it's certainly one of the difficulties of New South Wales Cup. Morgan Boyle just keeps the leg drive going up, and he gets to the halfway line. As I touched on before, foot, shoulder, ankle injuries which have restricted him over the last couple of seasons.
I knew you'd know everything about him. I knew it, but in the next 5 minutes, I want a stat which will blow my socks off, all right?
Last tackle for the Seagulls. Kick put in behind by Dargan. Picked up by Jacob Gagai. Named at 5'8", but pushed back to fullback with Carlo dropping out of the named squad. Brother of Dane, of course, the Newcastle Knights centre. And now the Seagulls again.
You're set up short.
Not getting back the required distance. Especially at this point in the game, Spud, where players should be a little fresher. And we've got some news on the Seagulls hooker. Nico, what's the latest on Gordon Chankum Tong?
Well, he's passed his HIA, Ben, so he's free to return to this game as soon as the 15 minutes has elapsed.
Great news. Thanks, Nico. Forced off after just 3 minutes, so allows the Seagulls to retain that full complement from the bench after the 15 minutes is ticked over. Brock Gray playing it to Mamazelis. Now Taff dummying, was hit high. Referee not going to let that slide.
No, it's not quick. Foul play. High contact. Dean Madison.
You should be a ref. What else can you do, Ben?
Well, I think it was pretty obvious, wasn't it, Spud? High tackle.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dean Madison, couple of penalties he's given away in the last couple of minutes.
You wonder if he does get suspended, will he pay the fine? Like his brother.
I'm going to leave that one alone, Spud. It's Giants.
Oh, my God, it reminded me of Des Hazard. Oh, my God. Tight.
Mamazelis through the hands of Hawkins, then Taff cut out pass to Tom Carr. The try-scoring machine, he's been taken over the sideline.
As we talk about defence, you're working on the inside. As soon as the ball goes past you just can't stop. You've got to keep moving along. And the best thing about that one was Morgan Harper. Actually, I call him Lionel Richie. Have a go at his hair. It's magnificent. Hello. You won't believe it. Small world. I went down to Campbelltown last night playing in the band with Eric Groves Sr. And I went to a chemist to get some links. Guess who served me? His mother. She goes, oh, you call my son's game tomorrow. And I said, what? She goes, Lionel Richie. I said, Harper. There he is. Look at that. Well, there's for locks.
You've just blown me away, Spud. You've got some stories of your own as the Seagulls now look to bring it out from their own 20 to Imalo Vaenga. And another penalty. This is a penalty and error-a-thon at the moment from both sides. And you can see why so far this season they haven't been able to get the wins. They're just trying to settle in, and they can't be giving away free penalties like that.
No, it's called momentum. There's got no momentum from both sides at the moment. We've had 4-1 penalties, 4 for South, but now 1 for the Blacktown Workers. So the good sides these days, Ben, they put people away when they get an opportunity. So this is Blacktown Workers. They can't get a try. They've got to at least get another repeat set of 6 and put some pressure on the South Sydney side.
Morgan Boyle, he's been great so far. Some more post-contact meters eaten up there. Dargan, Johns, short and flat to Fainu.
Nice ball.
Good defence as well from South Sydney. They go the short side. Toby, well, did he think the touch judge was playing for the Seagulls there? I can't quite explain what he spotted there.
Well, he should have at least caught it, shouldn't he? Pick it up. It wasn't the best of passes. You know, like I said, the opportunity from a penalty, you've got to make good use of it. And now South Sydney only leads 2-0, but just nothing has really grabbed this game at the moment. As you said, Ben, there's no momentum because there's too many bloody penalties.
Yeah, Joe O'Callaghan, the Rabbitohs coach, and Greg Boulis from the Seagulls both must be tearing their hair out at this point. 6 errors in the match, 5 penalties. So, yeah, it is in a stop-start kind of situation at the moment. Tane Mill backing his way towards the 40. Taff. Around the back was Jacob Gagai. Chapman. Hawkins. This is O'Neill. The Maroubra Jr., Ethan O'Neill. Playing it to Mamazelis. Hawkins. That's a better final play option. Stabs it down into some space in the corner. Toby having to get himself out of a tight situation. And they can look to build off this, the home side.
Yeah, he reminds me of Billy Slater from the back, as in Toby. He's just so quick over the ground, but he's just got that same kicking aim for the holes. But you know, the South Sydney side, they're sort of running all the way over the Blacktown workers at the moment. They're running 100 metres more, which means they're running harder and faster. With the completion rate, 9 for 11 for the South Sydney side, but 5 from 8, 63% for the Blacktown workers. You've got to get that close to the 80%.
Morgan Harper. Montana there at dummy half, and Fulton, who we heard from pre-game. Cooper Johns from inside the 40, and it bounced down quickly to Gagai. Did well to readjust, and now looking for the hole in between Boyle and Mattison. Came down awkwardly.
Not on him. Just play it. Go, one.
Tom Carr coming off his wing to do some work. He was with North Sydney last season. Already 2 tries in 3 with the Rabbitohs.
Do now. Lock in a marker. Hold. Go 3. Do not there.
We've certainly got some big guys in the South Sydney side. Look at the size of him. Number 8, Giles. He's probably 110 kilos, 6'4". They've certainly got some stock here at South Sydney. You have a look at Tom Bird, who's like 6'6", 125 kilo.
Yeah, they just keep getting bigger and taller.
What are they eating at South Sydney, Ben?
Hawkins with the kick towards the corner. Toby coming across. He's going to take it from the winger for Lalo, who was the fullback over the opening rounds of the season. We see Gordon Chankum Tong with the card in his hand alongside Austin Diaz, the former West Tiger. So some reinforcements on the way for the Seagulls.
It's hard to see with our cameras, the Fox, we're zooming in there, but up high, they've got what they're calling compressed grid in defence. They're not going to go around this, they're going to come through. So those last 3 runs are probably the hardest in the game to do, but now they get a little bit wider as they further come out.
Austin Diaz, his first run. Powerful one.
Very good.
Final play though, and this is from inside the 40, so was looking for the 40-20 Troy Dargan, just didn't have the angle, and Gagai's bringing it back.
You wonder how much practice they do with their kicking, these guys. I was fortunate enough to be here for the Penrith game against Parramatta, and just to see Cleary do his kicking skills before they go out and play was quite amazing. But that time when he kicked the field goal, he knew he had to be on the 30-metre line. He hit it on the dot. Next thing, 42 out, bang. Got to practice what you preach.
Yeah, that is right. Tallis Duncan up over the halfway line. Oh, and spun down on his head. That was quite awkward, and Fulton was looking for the strip. I thought the referee was going to blow a penalty. Wasn't the case. So they've got some men off the bench as well, the Rabbitohs. Jake Toby, this is back towards the in goal. Geez, done well there, because that was swerving. And he got back, put the foot in goal, and allows a 20-metre restart instead of coming off his own line.
It was smart play by the young Toby. As I said, some players will look down here, Ben, and they're too good for this grade. They deserve to play in first grade. But when you've got a side like, look at who's got ahead of him, he's got Tom Trebojevic. But what a mentor to watch and the way to play.
Well, he came up through the Panthers system to Jake Toby. Quality player, of course. Tough to break through there as well for making the move to the Seagulls. Good tip on for Lalo. Jinking back, looking for a hole is Clayton Forlalo, where he's met by Tallis Duncan.
That's how you tackle. That's how you tackle.
Named after Gordon Tallis, his first name, because his dad loved the way
how good
what he played.
I tell you what, if he tackles like that and he keeps going, he'll be a Gordon Jr.
Yeah, absolute gold. Jake Toby with the dummy.
They need to repeat Saturday, and they need to put some pressure on the South Sydney side.
Chankum Tong, Dargan, and now Johns. And he puts a grubbing kick. It was a scuffed kick, and in the end, easy pickings for the South Sydney side. And Gagai, he's been solid at the back.
That's what pressure does in defence. They come out the line to grab Cooper Johns. It should have been a right foot kick, but I think he hit it with the left the way it went. So You've got to aim up here through the middle again. And I keep saying that in every commentary. You've got to whack them through the middle, and there's too much yardage from both sides at the moment.
Richie Kenner, Rabbitohs winger, another experienced NRL player.
You're good, Troy. Troy's good. You're good. Last one, Fletcher out.
Rabbitohs with a good set out of trouble as Karapani playing it to Mamazelis. Hawkins putting it high, asking the question of Tuimalo Vaenga. Comfortable.
Tom here. Lock in. Wait. Go. Tom early, Tom.
And the referee, he was calling Giles out of it.
Multiple here.
So I'm going to do it at
other
half-time.
players offside as well. And
I'm going to go downstairs at half-time. I'm going to go in the referee's room. I'm going to take his whistle. I'm going to take the P out of it.
Stay behind, Zach.
Seriously, let him play. What's a penalty count? Ref 5-2.
45 south. Peter, Ethan, that's you as well.
It's like first grade, right? They're here to impress first grade, mate. You don't stop games like this. Let them play. Give them a warning, but let them play.
Fletcher Myers, the Newcastle junior, talented player with the carry, and now Austin Diaz. 7 matches for the West Tigers last year. Jacob Sykes is able to fling it back towards Cooper Johns, picked up by Madison. No real options for Madison. He fires it out to Harper. Harper back against the grain. It's always dangerous in that kind of situation where it seems not much is doing.
Go, 3.
Johns, Chankun Tong.
Numbers.
Dargan chiming in. He's going to try and kick it. He's kicked it into his own player,
Accidental offside.
who was in front of him. In the end, it was a catalogue of errors.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you, I'm going to use a Matty Johns comment. This is a bludgeon of a game. Seriously, the technique and the like, when you kick the ball, get in the goal. Don't kick it up somebody's ass.
It's accidentally hit him.
Accidentally, he said. He aimed for it.
Well, Spud, it is tight. There's only 2 points in it.
Thank God they kicked that 2 points. They might win 2-0.
Find out, Jake.
15 minutes remaining in this first half. So South Sydney, 30-38-16 they lost last week to the Roosters, 30-20 in round 2 to Penrith, and 26-6 to Newtown. So there have been some hefty defeats. As I touched on before, the Seagulls, they've been in winning positions in both of their matches either side of the bye, haven't been able to get the job done. So that's where these two sides fit in at the moment in the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup, trying to find some form and confidence. Yelene Gordon playing it, and now Taff with the step. Can he light up Accor Stadium? Blake Taff, he almost was able to find a gap. Hawkins giving it some more height. The chase is a good one. Toby spilled it. Was he taken in the air? Yes, he was.
Well, that deserved the penalty. The other ones didn't. But what about the athleticism by here? Toby, he's come down on, he's winded himself, but I think with these kickers, you see the Matt Burns of the world, but now they just seem to be just putting them up, you know, toe up, and they spin back a bit. Why? They've got enough time. Put a bloody floater up. Or at least, remember the old torpedo? Put it up there.
Stay behind it. Stay behind Sam. Off you go, Troy.
Jake Toby, good to see he's okay after that awkward fall. He's just come back from a hamstring injury suffered in the NRL trials, so he looks to have shaken that off. Just caught by Tom Carr on the way through.
You can see by the yardage work by the South Sydney side when they go forward. They've got two great front rows. Giles, 5 carries, 51 metres, and Gray, 5 for 45. So they're actually laying a great platform, but they're just not putting the icing on the cake.
Dean Madison held in there by Giles. Chankun Tong, who passed that HIA earlier in the match, feeding Diaz, who's going to go backwards. No momentum into that carry. Johns, Dargan. Here is Toby. This is where he loves these kind of opportunities where there was space, Rabbitohs were able to shut it down though. The kick on the final play from Dargan. Tom Carr getting across, using his height to his advantage. So still searching for our first try in the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup this afternoon. There was a penalty goal in the opening minutes, which is the difference at the moment. Darcy Hardman playing the ball there. And now Blake Taff taking the opportunity to run when he can. Hawkins' kick close to the sideline, again finding the grass and crosses it.
In a touch, play the ball, where do you want it?
So a good touch finder from Hawkins just to give his forward pack a breather.
Yeah, nice kick there. Put a bit of pressure on now for the Blacktown Workers. 11:25 to go. Who's going to be first to crack?
Well, this is where the Rabbitohs would like to build some pressure here. But the meterage from both sides has just been fairly easy out of their own half. Morgan Harper put on his back by Duncan. Tuimalo Vaenga bumping away initially from Mamazelis. Chankum Tong, Johns pops it back on the inside to Sykes. And Fletcher Myers, well, he's put it down.
It's come out, it's hit the opposition.
I wish we had cameras though. You know, I love when they put the cameras up and they see Bellamy. You know, I love it. Love his antics. You know, look at.
Well, there's Joe O'Callaghan. There's the Rabbitohs coach, Spud.
Well, they must, mate. I know that we've got must have speakers out there, and now that they've gone to the man, mate, I'll be jumping off for one of those blokes. You can see why most coaches are bored, then, because they're pulling the hair out. Seeing something like that, you just got to do your skills properly. Hold the ball. It's like a baby. You're going to drop your ball. You're going to drop it. You're going to drop your baby. I guarantee you won't. So it's one of my things I try and teach young blokes. Hold the ball as tight as you can and try and burst it.
Gagai just inside the Seagulls half, so you can see Rabbitohs' completion rate's been pretty good so far, but haven't had the ball in attacking territory of late. Hawkins to Taff. Mamazelis. And now Hardman. Hawkins, Taff, draws and passes. Richie Kenner for the corner. And we have our first try. It's taken a while, but it's Richie Kenner.
Yeah, great try by the South Sydney side. But as I said, Ben, you can't make mistakes in these games. They made a mistake in the next set of six. The good side put people away. But what I love about this backline play, they're actually hitting at pace. Everyone's running the right angle. Take the decoy away. And what about this finish? He's got some pace. But the inside defence of the Manly or Blacktown Workers, if you're going to come out, you've got to take someone. Don't take their tag and say, Oz tag, I've got them back. Just a really bad defensive read by the Blacktown Workers with some great attacking ability by the south side after a mistake by the Blacktown Workers.
First try of the season for Kenner. Had a good record last year in the NRL. 4 tries in 2 matches, and now he's grabbed his first of the season in match number 4 of the New South Wales Cup. So it's taken him a while for the NRL man. He's played across 3 NRL clubs in 3 different states.
Yeah, I love how they put the balls down now. The wingers, they try and contort their body. He didn't need to do that. He tried to make it look special, but with our Fox cameras, they're everywhere down here. That was a great pickup. I love to see that in slow-mo, so let's see how good they are at the producers. Slow it right down. We'll see this put down.
Tough attempt at conversion here for Blake Taff.
Well, you wouldn't know which way the wind's going, Benny boy. Another pet hate of Mark Carroll. There's no flags on top of the post. The only place has that is at North Sydney Oval. So where are we going to aim at here? I'll be going left post, bring it in.
Deep breath for Blake Taff. And he's hit it straight. Is it long enough? You bet it is. What a kick from the sideline from Blake Taff. They lead at 8-0. Let's go to the sideline with Nico.
Well, Benny, it was a fantastic finish from the ever-reliable Richie Kennar. 33 NRL games to his name. One of the rare cases of an NRL player not raised in New South Wales or Queensland. Yes, came through the Victorian Rugby League, spent some time at the Storm, then Canterbury, Brisbane, and now his second stint at South Sydney. He's been everywhere, Richie Kennar.
And not often, Nico, you see the junior club as the Northern Thunder out of Victoria. Richie Kennar. And he is a try-scoring machine. And now the Rabbitohs looking to build off the back of it. There is an NRL veteran, Eileen Gordon. 71 appearances in his career across the Bunnies, Dogs and Panthers. You remember him, Spud, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I do, but I just think when I knew I was coming up, I said, who's going to be the caller? And I said, Benny. I said, mate, I'm now going to have some stats. So I've got my own stats here, right, about Ken. I was waiting for him to score. He's also an active member of his community and has volunteered with local charities and non-profit organisation. What a beautiful man.
Yeah, what a great man. And in the meantime, the Rabbitohs have coughed up the ball. Cooper Johns came up with it. Can they hit straight back? Chan Kum Tong. And now Condon. Madison at first receiver, feeding Diaz. Dargan barking instructions at his men, but Chan Kum Tong goes to Madison, and the pass is called forward.
Forward pass.
You heard the cries. Took the referee a little while, but Daniel Lutringer was happy to go with the call of his touchy. That's a costly one for the Seagulls.
Yeah, it certainly was. The quick play of the ball by the big man in the middle there, but the thing is, the dummy half has to get there. You can't just play it and let him catch up, and the pressure from the South Sydney side. Again, no pressure put down by the Blacktown workers.
Just looked like Chan Kum Tong was in two minds. Dargan calling for it over on the left. And Tom Carr's now put it down. So 2 mistakes in consecutive sets for the Bunnies in the shadows of half-time. Can they punish them this time, Blacktown?
Well, they have to. Benny, look at the numbers. 4:37 on the clock. It's called the danger 5 minutes. It's a coach's nightmare. But the thing is, they've been given an opportunity. Blacktown workers, they gave the ball back. Now South Sydney have done the same thing. It's time for the Blacktown workers to strike just before half-time.
Matty Johns in the house, watching Cooper do his business for the Seagulls.
He's probably said the same word I said before.
Well, here we go. Big set here. Can he try and create something? Dargan with the flat pass to Myers. This is big for the Seagulls. 4 minutes remaining until half-time. Diaz.
Good run.
Held there by Duncan. And Diaz just
leave it,
caught up there, and here we go.
There's nothing in there.
The boys just getting a little restless.
Yeah, but mate, well, they can't punch each other, so just push them away and play the ball. That now breaks all the momentum of the Blacktown workers side.
Well, South Sydney won't mind that.
Back here, tackle 2. Here, Austin.
Also gives the Seagulls a chance to try and come up with a play here. Johns, Toby, jigging back off the right, looking for a gap to slice through. Midway through the tackle count, Chan Kum Tong goes to the short side. He's going to be really hard to stop. Somehow Josh Stuckey is.
Great defence in the on the line there.
Johns. Madison flat to Diaz. And now they arrive at the final play here. Blacktown workers, Chan Kum Tong to the short side, puts it on the toe, and Samuela Fainu dives to the ball, but the referee says he didn't get it down, and he looks stunned at the decision. Well, let's have a look at this.
Yeah, had a bit of an air swing at the end of it, but that was a great little kick. But you need to put pressure on. It's gone dead now. They're giving it a 7-tackle set to the South Sydney side.
Lost control.
Another mistake.
Another mistake. Here is the no try. Gee whiz. In super slow-mo, it is close. But for the referee, it would have looked like he didn't get downward pressure. Is there anything here right at the back end? No.
All right, with the touchy.
Well, I call him,
Happy with the decision, Spud?
Yeah. Oh, you got. Please, it was like
from that angle. From that angle.
If his fingers are about another probably a foot long, he might be a try. But yeah, it was a great little kick. I call him Gordon, right? Because he come in, and he said his name. I said, mate, what's your first name? He said Gordon. I said, you're going to be called Gordon on TV. So, but yeah, great skill to do that at pace. But how many times have we said this is the Blacktown workers' chance? Boys, have a look at the clock. You've got a minute 56, 2 sets at the line. If you can't get through, repeat set and put some pressure on.
Harper trying to get on the outside. And it's ended up in the arms of Forlalo. Back it comes to Johns. And Stuckey. Well, it's even more important this set than the one a couple of minutes ago. Madison, Dargan, and Fainu puts it down.
See how we go.
It's been the story of the first half, especially for the Blacktown workers Seagulls, completing at under 70% in this first half. And you sense the halftime chat from Greg Boulis. Won't reply too much.
You like to be a fly on the wall like when Bellamy goes off. But I just think they've missed out 3 opportunities going down that left edge or the right edge of the South Sydney side, because they're all running the same angles, man. What you got to do, you got to have someone who drops off and takes some pressure off the inside of the fence, but they're all running the same way. It's the one leading run over the fence.
Mamazelis, Taff, some space down the left, and Tom Carr, his hands are letting him down in the final 5 minutes of this first half.
It's a scrum.
When I was a young bloke, I used to put a lot of Vaseline on your legs, you know, trying to not get any sort of friction off the grass. But seriously, I reckon every one of these players has been into the Vaseline, rub their hands together, because I've never seen so much drop ball in one effort of 40 minutes. All right, you know what I say at the gym? If you drop something in the gym, you know what you got to do? 10 push-ups. Imagine how many push-ups we'll see out there.
Well, we may not even get this scrum packed. I think both sets of players are saying, let's just go to the sheds. Let's go and have a sit down, a breather. And that will end the first 40 minutes. So here we go, Rabbitohs
Stay behind it.
with the lead at halftime, looking to go on with it for their first win of the season. And what can Blacktown workers show us to start this second half? And of course, it's Austin Diaz, who came off the bench with so much vigor in that first half with the initial carry.
It was a good first carry, but what I didn't like about it, he put the handbrake on there, and you've got to run through the wall. Don't pull the handbrake on him.
Fainu playing it to Chan Kum Tong. Madison now feeding Stuckey. He also came off the bench, the second rower. Madison.
Better set of 6 on it, Ben.
It is. Good run out of dummy half. Chan Kum Tong pushed away from his opposite number. Mamazelis was sent sprawling. Good first set, isn't it, from the Seagulls? Cooper Johns trying to put the polish on it. It's a deep kick, and it's absolutely pinpoint in the end.
It was a defensive play in here. You've got to compress the line. They're not going to go wide. They're going to try and go through this and compress and leave some bruises. Good hit.
That is a good hit.
Great hit. No,
Run
come on.
there.
I thought we took the whistle off him.
Got to use the arms, Austin.
Oh, come on. You know what you got a penalty for then?
So,
hitting him too hard, Ben.
So the penalty goes against Austin Diaz, not against Jacob Sykes. You can see Sykes crunching there.
Fair enough.
And Diaz is the man penalised for a little bit of shoulder in there.
It's hard when he goes from 6 foot to 4.5. He got chopped in half.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It was the tackle from
Correct.
Sykes, which lowered the height. So South Sydney, they were under some real pressure there. Brock Gray into Seagulls territory for the first time this half. Hardman. Duncan. Hawkins through to Gagai.
Good defence. Going to come out the line, you got to take him, Ben.
Tallis Duncan this time goes for a run himself. Mamazelis. Hawkins. Gagai, quick hands, cut out pass to Kenner. Kicks back towards the middle. Fainu spills it, and they may well have scored here. South Sydney. It's a brilliant try in the end. And it's all about not giving up. And it is Josiah Karapani, the man who scores in the second half for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, the second half, the South Sydney sides really come out with some purpose, but as I said, they fight for every inch. That was about 2 inches before it was going to have the dead ball line, but it also comes down from mistake down the other end. We gave a penalty by the Blacktown Workers side, and this is the second time the South Sydney side have scored a try off a mistake. But also another thing, mate, when you're a winger, right, come out the line, make sure you take someone. That's the second time Vega's come out and missed his operation. What about the put down? Oh, look at this.
You know, Spud, was going to make his NRL debut last season. Jason Demetrio let him know, but then he got sick, was in hospital.
Wow.
So didn't end up coming off and missed the rest of the season post round 9. And now he's back. And he scores his first try since his 4th match in the New South Wales Cup, because he scored 3 in his first 4 to start last season.
And he's gone to a great club who looks after junior players. Like I said, they've got to do their trade down here, but scoring tries with that athleticism, it's going to count.
So Blake Taff kicked his first from right on the sideline. This one a little easier. And he strikes it beautifully. Once again, the Bunnies leading 14-0, Nico.
Yeah, an incredible effort there from Josiah Karapani. We spoke about him earlier today, but I've just got an injury update, guys. Some devastating news here. Morgan Boyle's day is done. He's been ruled out with a suspected torn calf.
Yeah, and that's tough to hear, Nico, because I touched on in the first half, Spud, the injuries that he has experienced in the last few seasons. Foot, shoulder, ankle, and now it looks as though it's a calf.
He's had some injuries, that poor bugger. He's built like a tank, but he must have a voodoo doll somewhere, and someone's jamming needles into it, because a calf, geez, how hard to come back from.
That is heartbreaking for Morgan Boyle.
Go 1, Austin, go 10, Gordon, you're good.
Gagai going for a run out of dummy half now for South Sydney. So the chance for them now to really drive home their advantage, and the Seagulls have got to try and produce something they haven't in their first 2 matches of the season, and that's come from behind, because they've been run down in their opening 2 fixtures this campaign. Karapani stepping left and right, just poked his nose through. Brock Gray went back to play under his father Brian in Canberra last season, winning the 2nd Division title. Here's the final play, kick down to Toby, met by Kenner. You can just see the intensity from the Bunnies here. They can sense they can lock away the 2 competition points with a really good 10-15 minutes and get themselves even more clear than the 14 they currently have.
Well, we have a look at the stats. They're playing the 75% completion rate. The South, the Blacktown work is 62. But what I'm loving, the run meters, there's a difference of 150 metres. You know why? Because they're running with purpose. They're running as hard as they can, and you can see why they're scoring tries.
Well, they might have to chance their arm a bit here, the Seagulls. Madison just inside the Rabbitohs half. Harper back to Johns. The chase led by Diaz. He's just going to hold off because he was offside. And Gagai met in there and driven back. You've touched on it already, Spud. It's been too easy for South Sydney to get out of their own half in this match via penalties or just their defence, the Seagulls. This looks to be somewhat a better effort. Fourth tackle, still inside their own half.
Yeah, but then on multiple occasions, they've been coming out of the line, the Blacktown workers, and taking air. They're not playing off.
Oh, and there's a strip. Jacob Sykes has pinched it. Can that just swing the momentum of this match? Stuckey now off the back, gets the unload away and flicked on to Harper. And here's Toby.
Drop off.
Looking for that gap in the Rabbitohs defensive line.
That was an example, and he was going across. He needed someone to drop off from the inside, take the fence away. They're all going to run over the post. Straight over the fence, go and get a pie.
Fainu playing it to Tramontana, who's back out there at dummy half. Johns kept it moving. Toby, just for a moment there, you thought he might be on his way through. And now a penalty.
Just wait here. I'm definitely thinking.
He loves blowing that whistle, doesn't he?
Just having a look here to Daniel Lutringer, and he's just asking the question whether it's anything more than on report. It's Tane Milne. Remember, copped that massive suspension for the hit on Lenu in the finals last season.
Just wait.
Served a lot of that at the World Cup,
Brad,
and
I think it's direct.
he's come back this season and may well find himself in the naughty corner again here. I think this is going to be a sin bin based on what Daniel Lutring is saying. Direct contact to the head, and it was forceful.
Ding.
So they could be down to 12 here.
I've got nothing against that. That's fine. Any person that hits anyone on the head should either get put in the bin.
Right. Contact from Tane.
If they get fined, if they get a suspension, should be a basic 5 weeks. You're not going to do it every week. I guarantee you'll never do it again.
So no sin bin, just on report. Oh, it's that swinging arm late. Gee whiz, he might be lucky. Here it is. Oh, just there.
But they need to score here.
Certainly do. Tramontana, Dargan, Johns, flat man in Stuckey. And he's put on his back by 3 and 4 Rabbitohs. Tramontana.
Numbers.
Through Dargan, quick hands from Faimu, and Tuimalo Vaianga is hard to stop. Oh, how about the power of Ray Tuimalo Vaianga? He had no right to get to the line, and he's got the Seagulls back into this one with tries in back-to-back matches.
Yeah, he could have scored a try in the first half of the same moves, but unfortunately dropped the pill. But what about the great action? I called it overs. They actually overlap here, but the first bloke drops off, allows the outside backs to hit. But the thing about this, Ben, look how deep they are running on this ball. You can hear the ball go whack, whack. Great little tip on. But what about this finish? It's like a bulldozer. Get down low and drive. Yeah, great running, great tip on. And a fantastic take at pace, but look at this. Boom, try time.
Have a look at the quads on his Good luck stopping him.
He's been doing a few leg days, hasn't he?
Just.
Well, that was brilliant.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about, what were you saying? A big truck, tow truck. Well, Dean Hawkins was certainly getting a ride there. He could do nothing. He was literally trying to get on his back and pull him down. And Tuimalo Vaenga with tries in back-to-back matches. A couple of NRL appearances for him at the back end of last season for Manly.
Well, I guarantee that pays back the drop ball in the first half. So there you go, 1-1.
Cooper Johns, big kick here. We'll bring it back to 8, the difference. Tough one out in the shadows of the sideline.
Get in there.
And he struck it well. How about the goal kicking today from both sides? 14-6. Let's go to Nico on the sideline.
Ben, it seems every time we see Ray Tuimalo Vaenga, he's got that big smile on his face, and why wouldn't he? He's such a talent, Ben. He's a colossus. Already, as you mentioned, rewarded with 2 NRL games to his name. He scored a double in this year's pre-season challenge. He scored last week against the Parramatta Eels. He's got another one for the Blacktown side here today.
Thanks, Nico. Out of Marist Saints in Auckland. Second season in the New South Wales Cup with the Seagulls, and here he is getting involved off the kickoff. Austin Diaz driving up towards the 20, so here we go. Fainu, the momentum well and truly
2 great runs
with the visitors now. Stuckey back against the grain, gets the offload away.
Great offload too.
How about the footy the Seagulls are playing now? Morgan Harpin out of the line, feeding it up to Madison. The Rabbitohs all of a sudden right on the back foot. Now they get a penalty. So isn't it funny, Spud? They've been run down after leading by big margins in the first 2 matches this season, the Seagulls, and now today they've had to fight back from 14-0 down, and they've got the wind in their sails.
Yeah, but also you get extra legs. When you've got the ball running, the ball up, you know, you can breathe for Australia, but when you've got to defend, you're sucking the worms out. So now they're on the great roll. They need to score again to put some... Let's make this a game, please. 27 to go, we have plenty of time.
Tramontana. Madison. This is Jacob Sykes. Cooper Johns with the ball in 2 hands. Dargan, it's a floater behind.
It's gone back.
And they've picked it up, the Rabbitohs. And now Blake Taft trying to turn defence into attack. Clayton Fulalo just couldn't hang on to the floating pass over the top from Troy Dargan. Big let-off.
Yeah, it was a let-off. They had a great pressure. They didn't have to throw that loopy punch. They could have gone there, and then they could have put an in-goal run. But now they've got the South inside through the middle.
Oh, and that is a great run up through the middle. And the ball comes free. And Austin Diaz getting the plaudits for his effort.
So we should. Look at the... Want to do was come there, went through the middle. God, he reminds me of Cook. He's so fast out of a dummy half. That pass should not have been thrown. They could have gone to the ground, put some more pressure on the South Sydney side, and then they back up through the middle. Taff, he is so fast out of the blocks. And so is this young man. He reminds me so much of Cook. We tried to come up, quick play. The ball went for another run, and Diaz comes over top and goes, "Come here, boy." That's a good hit.
So Austin Diaz, 10 carries, 76 metres so far. Off the bench. So I put an asterisk next to that. Really added some grunt to the middle of the park for the Seagulls. Lalo put on his back.
That's what we see with the Manly first group. We've got Kepi and we've also got Bullimore. The impact those guys are having, it's important in the game, and he's certainly doing his job today, that being Diaz.
Offload again from Harper. Now Madison. Such a creative player, really crafty Dean Madison. He's coming into his own here in the second half.
He's got an offload, so it's important.
Cooper Johns, short pass to Stuckey. Real sliding doors moment in this match. Tramontana, Diaz.
He has a crank on, he has a go, this bloke.
late stages of the tackle count. Tramontana, the pass goes to ground, but it's picked up by Toby. And he gets it to Dargan. Diaz. He just takes the tackle.
They need to repeat.
Final play for the Seagulls. It comes to Johns. He looks to dribble it in behind, and Stuckey! Josh Stuckey gets there. And the Seagulls have back-to-back tries. He gets his first try in the New South Wales Cup for the Seagulls, and what a crucial moment that is.
Yeah, we talk about impact off the bench. He's another one who's come off the bench today. Usually a starter, but he's been put down to come off the bench. Look at this great little kick and great depth under pressure. That's what we're talking about. Get the depth of your kick and then follow through right at the end. I think he's about 3 or 4 inches in, but great little kick by Cooper Johns. Fantastic by the Blacktown workers. They're not going to go away. They certainly need to be the next to score.
The former Bulldog debuted in the NRL last season. 1 appearance for the former Queanbeyan Blue. And how about this match, Spud? 14-0, the Rabbitohs, they look to be cruising towards a victory. And the switch has been flicked. And haven't we got a game on our hands?
I'm going to use one of my favourite characters, The Rock. Finally, we have a game. Oh, thank you. But you look at the, as I said, impact off the bench. And I'll talk about the washing machine. These blokes have come in and jump straight on. Didn't get flying out. Diaz has had 12 carries, 90 metres. And Stuckey, try now. He's had 4 offloads, 10 hit-ups, 73 metres. So the coach did the right thing, didn't he?
Cooper Johns to bring us back to a 2-point ball game. And he brings it back beautifully. 14-12, the Rabbitohs lead, but the Seagulls are coming. Let's go sideline with Nico.
Well, it was a tremendous effort there, Ben, from Josh Stuckey, a product of the famous Queanbeyan Blues. Now, this bloke is an award magnet. 2019, he won the Brad Clyde Medal for Man of the Match in the Canberra Region Rugby League Grand Final. He moved up to Cairns in 2021 and won the Northern Pride's Player of the Year, Players Player, and Members Player. Moved to the Dogs and made his NRL debut towards the end of the year. Certainly a talent, Josh Stuckey.
Yeah, and he's got a big role to play here in these final 22.5 minutes. This is Diaz. Hasn't had a breath since he came off the bench in the first half. Tramontana to the try scorer, Stuckey.
Is this the side we watched in the first half?
Oh, I know, it's incredible, the turnaround. It's been worth the wait because the crescendo is shaping up nicely.
What a word, that's a great word.
Round 4 of the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup. 2 sides who haven't won this season. Cooper Johns just outside the 40. Gagai picks it up, so this match right on a knife's edge now. Who can grab the momentum? Well, it looks like it might be the Bunnies because Gagai's gone right through. He comes out the other side. Tuimalo Vaienga got back to make the tackle. What an incredible run that was from Gagai. And now Gray off the back. Playing it to Mamazelis. Hawkins. This is Duncan. Hawkins across, it was touched by Tuimalo Vaienga. It is going to give the Rabbitohs 6 more plays, Spud, but if he doesn't get that touch, they probably score.
Yeah, he's come out about 3 or 4 times and usually he grabs air, but thank God he hit the ball. But this defence through the middle, I know he's got quick pace, but just wrong defence. You've got to go low on someone like that, and he's got plenty of pace. That could have been a try with Taff coming through the middle. Great defence at the end, but wow, what a game we've got. We've got, you know, how important is that 2 points? Remember we said, oh, what's he kicking the goal with a minute into it? So it's now 14, 12, 20 minutes to go. I think there's still another couple of tries in this game.
What a run there from Jacob Gagai up towards 200 metres. He's been around NRL squads for years, still dreams of that as the Rabbitohs right off the scrum. And it was Blake Taff going within millimetres. Penalty, it's going to be 6 more tackles.
Hold the line.
Not going to really matter this early in the tackle count. Duncan with the fend on sights. We've got plenty of time in this set, South Sydney, to try and set something up. Another settling play with Gray. Duncan, Hawkins, onto Taff, great hands, and the try-scoring machine, Tom Carr, 35 in his last 36 in the New South Wales Cup. And they're back out by a converted try, the Bunnies. Yeah,
it's an identical play from the other end. South Sydney, even in first grade, they've got all these designs of going through in different angles and different shapes, but everyone's doing their job. They go to the line, but also you've got a bloke dropping off. The centre shouldn't have come out and grabbed the air as he did. There's another try for the South Sydney side. As I said, you can't afford to make mistakes, can you, in the games like this? Everyone we have a mistake, guess what? We get a try in the next set of 6.
Well, Spud, it was just that moment that Gagai made the break and allowed this opportunity to come to fruition, because at that moment, the game's on a knife edge, 14-12. He makes the bust up the middle, and all of a sudden, the Rabbitohs have got on the back of that. Tom Carr, 3 tries in 4 at his new club. He was at North Sydney for the last couple of seasons. As I said, try-scoring machine in this competition.
Yeah, it's amazing how momentum changes. As we said, we thought the Blacktown workers, here they come, and they did a great little kick away, but then you've got to also defend when you kick a ball away. Gagai, he's always been a talent. He's got superior speed, but that backline players, mate, they've been practicing a lot. They get nice and deep, and that guy on the end, sorry, as in, what's his name? Sorry, Carr. I'll tell you what, he can find the line, but he actually hit it at pace. Not behind his back, front of his chest, try time.
Well, hugely important kick now to give them an 8-point lead with less than 20 to play. And the first miss of the day, so it's 6 the difference. Let's go to Nico on the sideline.
Yeah, an excellent finish from Tom Carr, the try-scoring machine, Benny. The man from the Illawarra region. He's a Helensburgh Tigers junior. Spent some time at Canterbury, and most recently, as you mentioned, as part of the Rooster system at the North Sydney Bears. He's 28 years old this year, Tom Carr, so certainly one of the senior members of this South Sydney Rabbitohs squad.
I think in the attacking play there, Ben, if you could see it, I think it was Chan Foon. He runs through. Well, let's say left to right shoulder, but he actually runs through, takes the defender, didn't take him out, took him inside, and it was a bad defensive read.
So still well and truly in this match, the Seagulls. 6 behind. They're going to have to try and score again. Put in a big set of defence here.
Lock in, Jacob, here.
Grey skies overhead, but still, it's dry on the park for the moment.
Nice, perfect conditions, especially with our game come up. It's I think it's 7:30 kickoff. Can't wait to see this clash through the middle. It should be exciting. But I'd say weather conditions for the big fellas in the middle, you're rubbing your hands together. You can't wait to get out there.
Well, don't forget, Super Saturday begins right after this one. The Titans Cowboys, the other Queensland derby, getting underway at 5:30. And then Rabbitohs Seagulls, 7:30 kickoff. Big night of action on Fox League as Jake Toby pushed back towards his own 10.
I love Saturday afternoons. Absolutely love it. Get all my, you know what my favourite is tonight? Fish fingers. In my air fryer, I did a record the other day. I did 24 fish fingers. And then, everyone says, sauce, I went, tomato sauce to go. What about, what's the other white one they use? The
tartare.
It's not tartare, not with bloody fish fingers. I knew you'd have fish fingers with tartare.
Here's Ducky backing his way over the 30. We've got a great match of footy here in the knock-on effect New South Wales Cup. Dargan coming up against his old side, the Rabbitohs, that released him a couple of years ago. Back it comes to Cooper Johns. Taken well by Tom Carr. the most recent try scorer in this match.
I've always loved the challenge in life, Ben, and I'll put it out there to our viewers. I got the air fryers. You know what I did? I put the air fryer going. I had to christen it, so I put a 24-pack in there. Fish fingers, how good? 18 minutes at 200. But guess what? There's a 40-pack. So next on, I'm taking it on 40 fish fingers and tomato sauce.
Here's O'Neill, just up inside the Seagulls half. Tallis Duncan puts the ball under the wing.
Isn't that a great name?
And back it comes on the final play. The kick is going to test out the Seagulls, but it's not going to test out big Ray Tuimalo Vaenga. Final 15 minutes of this knock-on effect New South Wales Cup clash. Who's going to get their first win of the season? The Seagulls already, it's been put down, and now a chance for the South Sydney side to put a seal on this one. And Mamazelis has been injured here in his attempts to dive on the footy.
Didn't see when he went down with.
Well, here is the mistake from Toby. Just trying to offload, and they've been doing that pretty well in the second half. Just one offload too many, and then Tuimalo Vaenga just crunching and maybe winding Mamazelis.
100%. There was a wind. That's the second time he's been whacked like that. Remember, Diaz got him, but Diaz is about 120 kilo and he nearly made him into a pancake.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be underneath Tuimalo Vaenga. We saw his strength and his power a few moments ago. Tallis Duncan trying to do it all himself. Now an opportunity for the Rabbitohs to put the Seagulls out of this one. Giles is playing it, and now they look out wide through Hawkins. No route through there. And towed in behind by Mamazelis. And cleaning it up is Cooper Johns. So they're going to have to soak up some pressure, the Sea Eagles.
Guess what? That's our first repeat set. I've been saying it all game. I think we need a repeat set. What that does, it puts pressure on you. We've had a couple of go over the Parramatta Road from here, but now it puts massive pressure on the Blacktown workers. Great little kick.
There's Matty Johns watching on. And he'll be hoping that the Seagulls can hold out South Sydney. And maybe Cooper Johns can come up with a big play in these final minutes. He's had a good match in the halves for the Blacktown workers side, but right now they're defending their own goal line. Giles, he's put it down. Did go backwards though, picked up by Mamazelis.
Numbers.
Gagai. Karapani. He's already scored one today, Josiah Karapani. Hawkins. Taff. And Tane Mill with a big bend and the offload to Carr. Flings it back inside to Taff. Chan Foon.
Hot potato, that's what it's felt like.
Myler put down inside the 10. On the last tackle here, the Bunnies. Hawkins, Gagai, the wingers were both back. The Rabbitohs trying to exploit it. The defence, it was outstanding from Fletcher Myers. You can see why the Seagulls have such big raps on the 19-year-old out of Newcastle.
Yeah, it was great defence, Ben. They need to be done now. Another set of 6 against the line, but South Sydney would have had him if they got another repeat set of 6. But I'll tell you what, they've still got 11 minutes 55 to go. The Blacktown workers never give up, so Hold on.
Signed until next season. Fletcher Myers, 2024. As
Here we go.
Chan Foon. Well, he's gone right through the middle. And now Madison met by the shoulder of Taff. Stuckey. Chan Kun Tong now on the inside for Stuckey. He's been busy in this set.
Hold the ball. Good run.
When he get the ball free, he can't. Should say it's Condon. This is Stuckey, the similar hairdos, and the kick in behind from the big man. It's going to go too deep.
On the whistle. Wait. Jacob on the whistle.
You know what should happen with him, mate? He's got to take his kicking license off him. He's a forward. Go forward. Don't miss tackles. Don't kick the ball.
Well, looked like the issue there was just no one on the same page.
Actually, I think the way he hit it, he hit it off the shin.
Play goes on here for Macallum. Fresh jersey in 22. The only man yet to get minutes. The latest inclusion into this match. Mamazelis. And Hawkins with a pass which may have had some suspicions around it. On to Duncan. And Taff. Well, this is the moment for Blake Taff. Can he reach out and score? Yes, he does. Well, that's his quality. Inside the final 10 minutes, some tired defenders, and Blake Taff takes advantage and gets over for his first four-pointer of the season in the New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, as I said, this guy's too good for this grade. The go forward's been great, but he can't, as I said, from another mistake, look at this, backs himself, pace, left foot, right foot step, great put down, but you know, the cream always rises to the top. He's too good for this grade, but he's coming in to get some yards in the legs, and he's just knocked on the door to Coach Demetrius and say, mate, I'm here for you anytime. Great run, but it also shows any young kid watching this, doesn't matter how big you are, run between shoulders, you're going to get through. Great put down.
Yeah, the future of South Sydney right there. Blake Taff, the 23-year-old, 20 matches in the NRL over the last 3 seasons. In the squad, he was named in the side playing the NRL, dropped back to New South Wales Cup, getting some minutes today. He's played the full match so far, and that's just fitness, isn't it? At NRL level, in the final minutes, comes up with a big play around some tired defenders.
Yeah, speed is everything in this game, especially the size of these guys. But he probably 90 kicks. But I just noticed something. He took his mouth guard out. There's a white thing on the ground. Mate, put it in your sock. Now he's got to put it back in his mouth. There it is.
Maybe we'll give it a wash with some water, Spud.
You bloody hope so, wouldn't you?
So Taff, no mistakes with that.
Let's watch. Put it in there. Ah!
Gives it a bit of a spray. 24-12, the Bunnies lead. And just watch and enjoy Blake Taff squeezing between Johns and also Condon. He's just come back out onto the field. He'll be disappointed with that.
There's just too much arm grabbing. You know, for such a little man, you think, oh, mate, he won't be able to get through. But they're so powerful upstairs, these guys, with especially the training they do in the off-season. But I can, my favourite position for him is at fullback, but he's just showing his versatility to play in other positions.
So what's the option here for Blacktown Workers Seagulls? So they go short. That is the decision from Cooper Johns. Can they get it back? It's batted back, but it is out on the full. So a penalty for the Rabbitohs right in the middle of the field.
Thought we were watching a bit of volleyball there. That was good. All we needed was a net.
And they'll be so frustrated, won't they, the Seagulls? You saw that try map throughout this match. They got themselves back into it. 14-12, and then Jacob Gagai made that huge return. Greg Poulos there in the middle.
Yeah, the coaches would be frustrated because they could feel the momentum changing, couldn't we? We were saying in our commentary, saying here they come, and then they did a great kick, and then they let them go through the middle. It's been South since then.
Giles inside the 10, so they can seal the 2 competition points here. Their first win of the season, the Rabbitohs. And put down. So we won't get to see what they can come up with. Hawkins, he's been good throughout this match. Just putting it down, so it gives the Seagulls some hope with 6 minutes remaining. They're going to have to come up with something special though, Spud.
It's more than special.
What are you looking for here?
I'm looking for stats. Oh, you want me stats? Well, I can just see the difference. The difference is nearly 400 running metres. Okay, but you look at the players in question, the front rowers for the South Sydney side. Giles, 981. Gray's he's been a highlight. His go forward's been immense. His first carry in the game, that set the precedent for what the day was going to be.
Tuimalo Vaenga. You sense he's going to have to get involved a little more if the Seagulls are going to try and get themselves back into this one. Produce a miracle. Harper for Lalo. Has to come back inside. Midway through the tackle count here, the Seagulls. Harper to Johns. And now Dargan, a slip there.
Long way to go. He's 6'8".
He didn't need that, Condon. Now he's producing a short pass to Madison.
All good.
Kick up from Dargan. Rushing through is Toby. And Gagai is just going to get himself, or keep himself, in the field of play. And this is it. It's all or nothing here, you sense, for the Seagulls. They have to pin the Rabbitohs in here. Try and force an error.
Yeah, it's called leg split. They should be sprinting out, but they're not. They're just jogging. But isn't Gagai? He's just an inspirational player at the back, but he's got some good genes, and he, like, his brother was fantastic, and he's certainly taken the baton as well for the South Sydney side.
Well, he hasn't given up on that first grade dream. Jacob Gagai running for over 200 metres today. O'Neill just short of the 40. Last play here for South Sydney. That kick, it's close. It's just inside. That was so close to being out on the full. Those are the kind of margins that Dean Hawkins was playing with there. Pinpoint perfect in the end.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect little kick there. A little bit of a chip on it. Got a little bit of a backspin there, especially with the golf. Just, I know the rules will change, but the kick like that was fantastic. Then we'd have a scrum. The forwards would be clapping, going, how good is this? We're going to have a bit of rest. But now the Blacktown workers are on an attacking area of the ground. Oh, great hit.
Fulton put it down amid some significant contact there. And now Tane Mill. Well, will they put the Seagulls out of their misery here? South Sydney have got a penalty now.
Stripped it out.
Well,
on the hell call.
What do you do here, Spud? Do you go for the 2, make it 14, take a bit more time off the clock?
Nah, you got to keep putting pressure on them, but they probably proved me wrong as a commentator's curse, but I was 30. I didn't get down the sheds and take that bloody whistle out of this bloke's mouth. Or at least take the P out. Remember the old P? And they'd go, and you couldn't hear it. Oh, they're going for the kick, aren't they? They couldn't hear it, so they had to go and get the into the box to get a brand new whistle. It's called a P. It looks like a P. You know what I'm talking about, Ben? You old enough to know what a P is?
I know what a P is in the whistle, Spud. Right. So first half, we had 7 penalties.
Under 8s were playing.
First half 7 penalties, second half 5. So less penalties given in the second.
Mate, we've still got 2.5 minutes to go.
And Blake Taff will take a bit more time out of the clock with this attempted goal.
Isn't it unusual? I just love watching goal kickers. I love watching Latrell kick. He just goes bang straight through. Some other blokes wave their arms. He puts his mouth guard on the ground.
Same position, just to the right of the tee.
Let's see if he washes it this time.
Blacktown for a 14-point lead. More than 2 converted tries now for the Rabbitohs.
Washed it.
And they are going to get their first win of the season. Joe O'Callaghan there on the left as you're looking at it. The Rabbitohs head coach this year. Also the head of Elite Pathways at South Sydney. Said he wanted to get into some more hands-on coaching this year. And he'll be happy with that first win in the New South Wales Cup. Greg Boulis is going to have to wait another week for that. Short kickoff again for the Seagulls doesn't work. So the Rabbitohs head into the bye next week. So they'll be able to make it 4 points with the 2 points from the bye over the 2 weekends, which is good for them. Seagulls next week taking on Newcastle at home. Inside pass. He's been wonderful today, Gagai.
Vision.
He's going to get another try.
Oh.
Assist, is he? No.
Dead, 20.
Mamazelis with the line at his mercy. He's put it down.
You know what happened then? He checked up on that 150-inch screen to see how he was looking. He's got magnificent hair, but what says, great kick at pace. This should have been a try, but picking you up the camera.
And what's happened is the Seagulls have looked for touch. They've found it.
Scrum.
And it's going to be a scrum feed. So that's smart from the restart.
I've got a quick
found touch. They're going to have one play here.
I've got a quick stat for you to finish off, okay? Sam Burgess, my good mate Sam Burgess, he's saying Zach McElwain, he just went on. He played for Souths now in the New South Wales Cup. He's also the hooker for
the Coffs, up in Coffs.
Correct,
for
he
Sam
was.
Burgess's team.
He was fast out. He's fast out of hooker, playing number 22, I think. He's just come on. He's the best player in Group 2. So it's great to know that Sam's watching our coverage. But yeah, what a club to go to. That. I went to Souths to play first grade. I was at Penrith, couldn't get a start. I went there to play first grade. And you look at what Souths have here now. There's an opportunity for these kids to go up.
Last play of the match, Morgan Harper for Lalo. Almost gave himself up. Back to Fulton. Can they produce something here? Jake Toby looking for a gap. And he's driven towards the sideline. And that will be it. So the Rabbitohs, on what is an emotional day for the club, get a win to start as they honour John Sattler